Hello and welcome to Destabilizing Disability. And today I'm talking about how even though I am chronically upset that I am chronically ill, I am still chronically fun. What does that mean? I'm so glad you asked. One of the things that it means is that I knit. That's right. I am not 80 years old, and you don't have to be 80 years old to knit or crochet because it's trendy. And one of the things that I do is I use this thing. I think it's a loom. I don't know. It came in a pack with several different sizes and some of the little hooky things. These little hooky things. And what you do is you wrap the things around it and you take them off, and you can make hats and scarves. You can make other things too. I don't know. I've only made hats and scarves, to be honest. I'm not a great knitter, and I don't know how to knit with just the hooky things. I only know how to knit with one of these, but it's fun, and I can make things, and it is a hobby, and we love a good hobby. One of the things that I learned from this particular hobby is that you don't have to be good. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be an expert. And you don't have to know how to do it the right way to enjoy it and to be productive, to make something. I've made things, give them as gifts, and people love them and wear them. I hope. I don't really know. But that's what I tell myself, for sure. And having hobbies of all sorts and kinds can be so important, I think, and so does some studies somewhere that you can look up on the internet. Hobbies are important because they provide a way to relax, de-stress, and recharge. They offer a creative outlet, help build new skills, foster personal growth, and can even connect you with like-minded individuals. Engaging in hobbies can improve mental well-being, self-esteem, and add balance to your life by providing a break from daily routines and responsibilities. Thank you. Thank you, Internet. I agree. I'm just going to agree. So what's another hobby that I love to do? Video games. And if you don't think that video games are good for your health, then again, go to the internet, because there's studies that tell us that they can be beneficial. Thank goodness. I'm addicted in the best way ever, okay? And having a hobby that doesn't require you to physically get up and leave your bed is my kind of hobby. Let's be honest. It's one of the best kinds of hobbies. I highly recommend. And for me and my chronically ill body with my dynamic disability, there are days I can't get out of bed, and this is the hobby for that day. This is the hobby for those days. Then there's days that I can sit up in bed and I want to move my hands, maybe watch some TV shows, but still get a little something done. Well, this is the hobby. This is the hobby for that. We love different hobbies for different functionality. Let's keep going. My next hobby was one I did with a chronically ill body, well into my 20s, not as fit as one could be, and in a leotard. That's right, I did adult basics beginner ballet. And don't let the words basic and beginner fool you. It was difficult. It is one of the hardest things that I've ever done. And I am not new to the fitness world. You might think, oh, she spent a lot of time in a wheelchair, she uses a cane, rollator, whatever. There are times when I would run those little marathon-y things. Not the big ones, but the little ones. What are those called? Just races? I don't know. I'd run those things. And I also was a little bit of a gym rat. I mean, I don't really know what that means because I'm old and not very hip and with it, but I used to go to the gym all the time. I did all of the machine things. I was built to last. At least that's what I was hoping. And I could go to the gym and spend 3-4 hours at the gym. A couple times a week. I'd work out at home. I loved it. But ask me if I could spend 20 minutes in a bar class for basics beginners. Not just bar class, like ballet. Ballet at the bar. I went to the ballet school for our state. They had some adult beginner classes there, and that's where I went. Oh my goodness. The exhaustion. How do people do things? Like, I thought that my body could do things, and considering the fact that I'm hypermobile, you would think, oh yeah, she can do some stretchy things. No, ballet is asking your body to do things on a whole new different level with muscles that I didn't know I had. Anyways, there's no picture proof of that, and I don't know where my ballet stuff is to show you that I have it and can do it. I don't really know what that does either. Moving on. This is one of my favorites. Call me crazy. Learning languages. I hyperfixated on learning languages like there was no tomorrow. Like I was going to lose my language tomorrow. Like I was part of some international kebab. If you've ever used Duolingo, it's almost like playing a game. I haven't used it in a couple of years now, but I bet that it is like playing a game nowadays. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Another thing you could do from your bed, anytime, anywhere, and you're building a skill. A skill that most people, they can't speak 5 words of multiple languages, you know? But at some point, I think I knew like 50 to 100 words of Spanish, French, German, English, Nepali, and then I also learned some American Sign Language, which I did as a hobby, but then later on in life, I did it out of stupidity. You might be like, excuse me, it could never be stupid to learn another language. It can only help you and even those around you. Wrong. I mean, is it a very rare, isolated case? Maybe, but wrong. Because listen. At some point in my life, I lost my English. My first language. I was old. I was in my 20s. And it went slowly as in like over a couple weeks, months. But that's also kind of quick, to be honest. And I lost words. I knew that there were words. I knew that I knew the words, but I didn't know them. It was just blank space in my mind, and it never came back. I had to relearn how to speak words. And to this day, we don't know what happened. I've talked to doctors and psychologists, and and you know what? It's over. It's years ago. We don't have to think about it anymore. Fine. If that's what they say, that's what they want me to do, then fine. Anyways, when I learned back my English, apparently I didn't learn it very well because I don't think that was proper grammar, but I decided to learn it along with American Sign Language. So now, sometimes when I'm trying to communicate or to think, I do it in sign language, like it's part of my first language because my brain had to redo, and that's where and how we redid it. And that is silly. That is silly because I'm not deaf, hard of hearing, or not able to use my voice. So, nor do I have any close friends or regular acquaintances that use sign language. So, it's odd. It's odd. And when I am in the store, grocery shopping, and I talk to myself, sometimes I'm just signing to myself. And that's weird. That is weird. So, there's pros and cons to everything. Anyways, learning languages is fun. And to be honest, I don't know about you, but I just like to talk. And that includes in different languages. So, and I like to be out and to run into someone, the rare chance that it might happen, I want to be able to run into someone and them speak a different language and me say something back to them in their mother tongue so that we can all be impressed. And then they say more words back to me like I'm extremely fluent and can help them. And that's not what's happening. And so then I run away. But it was good for 5 seconds. Well, it was fun until it wasn't. Anyways, next hobby. This one is one I think anyone can do, anywhere, any skill, any life circumstance. Telling stories. I, very young, found that I had a desire, a longing, a call to writing fiction. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why. But I do know that it's fun and that I can just sit down and get lost in this world that I create with different people and different circumstances and different lives. And sometimes it's almost like I'm living multiple lives, which is amazing because I have the heart and mind to live a robust a life varied in experiences. And it is my body that is not on board, okay? My mind and my heart, we want to live a big life. The body says, not today, honey. Maybe not ever. But excuse me, who is she? We're not going to just sit down and listen to that. No, we're going to write books, novels, chapters, characters, and we're going to live through them. And then if you so desire, you can wrap it all up, do a little finishing touches, and you can publish it yourself. You can send it to a publisher, you can do all that. But nowadays, you can do it yourself. Publish that baby. Get your coin. And then if you had the hobby of learning languages, you could just write books in every language. Just publish them all, you know? I don't know. It's just some thoughts just coming out of my head. Now, writing is not the only way that you can storytell because there's art. Art has been known historically to help you put down your feelings out for the world to see on a canvas, you know? Now, again, there are studies talking about how great it is to paint and to color and something, what it does, your brain waves. It's beneficial and it's fun, and you can even have a little something to put in your house. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Here's the other thing, is you can now tell people you're an artist, which automatically makes you extremely interesting and like a complex, moody kind of person, but in a good way. Like, I'm an artist. I understand life in a way that you don't. I can see things that you can't see. You know? How fun is that? I mean, is it true? Who cares? It's cool. Not to mention there's all sorts of ways that you can do this, and I have done this at different places in my health and functionality. There's drawing, there's digital art, there's using markers, crayons, oils, pastels, acrylic paint, watercolor, all sorts of things. You'll never get bored. You'll never get bored, and you'll have something for everything. Not only that, but I personally find it very satisfying to paint on canvas. It's just the way that it like kind of bounces back, the sound of the brush against the like texture of the canvas, and just I've never experienced anything like it, and I will crave it until the end of my days. It is so much fun, and I have painted a lot of things. And I remember I decided to self-medicate myself one time when I was going through a bit of a hard time. It was the anniversary of me losing someone in my life. Grief can be a hard thing. And I decided that I was going to stay in and binge watch one of my favorite TV shows and paint for 1 month straight. And I got it all together ahead of time, a couple months before I knew what I was going to paint. I had a whole bunch of references and things that I wanted, had all my supplies, and I just set up in the living room out in front of the TV, and all around the floor I had all of my paint supplies that stayed there for the month. And I'll tell you what, It was one of the most healing, fun months I've ever had. I still think about it to this day. That was years ago. And I plan to do it again, you know? Don't fix it if it ain't broke. It worked then, it can work now. And I still get sad and still grieve things, whether it's my health or people, my circumstances. Painting and art can solve it all. I'm convinced. So, what a beneficial hobby. Now, here's the next one: storytelling, but in video form. I don't think I'm super great at it. I made one little story about some girl and a horse. It's somewhere on the YouTube. And I'm not as proud of it as I want to be, but it was fun. It was fun. And I thought and I did things. I did something new. What skills did I learn? I learned how to video myself. I learned how to boss my husband around and tell him what kind of shots I wanted and to direct him into being an actor. And I also became an animal trainer because I did the video with a horse. So the horse had to also be directed in where to stand, make sure she was on her marks, all the things. I'm just kidding. But it was really fun. And when I was making the first little skit, in the process, I just naturally got so involved and loved it so much. I came up with like 100 more skits. And I was like, I could do this for like ever. And that's how you know it's a good hobby. When at the end of the day, you're like, I could do this again tomorrow, you know? Speaking of horses, horseback riding is another hobby that I absolutely love. Again, more physical, and it's harder than I like to admit. Okay? Again, using muscles that I'm not normally using. And I'm a fragile little girl, and I don't want to fall off. And here's another thing. Horses are big animals. So if you're riding a decent sized horse, 15, 16 hands, if you're with these big horses just moving around, they decide to flick their head or just scoot to the side, step on you. Ow. It can hurt. It can hurt. And when you're already in chronic pain, some days you're just like, I don't know if I want to run into that kind of probability, you know? I don't know if I want to get stepped on by something that weighs well over 1,000 pounds, you know? But here's the real danger is you could become a horse girl. Horses are amazing companions, creatures. They're amazing. When you are with a horse, it is very possible that you're going to have the experience of feeling so connected, grounded, soothed, and healed that it could become your new identity. So I want you to know that you have been warned here and now. You have been warned. But I think you should try it. Now you might be thinking, oh, I'm chronically ill, I'm disabled, I've never been around a horse, and they can be crazy. And they're big and strong, like you just said. I don't want to get hurt. I don't know what to do. Go to the right people. Don't just go to the right people, okay? Go to the right people. There is a lovely little lady. Actually, it's a whole business, but I'm shouting out the one lady. There's one little lady at the business that is a horse trainer. Not a horse trainer, a horse riding instructor. And she works with people with disabilities. And I talked to these people. My farrier at the time, a farrier, told me about this lady and was like, you should call him and talk to him, you know, because they might open you up to a whole new world of horseback riding that's really fit for you. And I was like, I could only hope. So anyways, I've talked to them. I haven't gone yet, but I have talked to them, and they work with people of all sorts of limitations and all the things, but they do apparently have someone there who has the things that I have. So they are versed in helping people like me. And I am so excited to go. I am so excited. But first, I'm going to finish PT one thing at a time. And I'm still in physical therapy. And my physical therapist seems to also be excited about helping me bring my body up to par to doing some of the things and reaching some of my goals with horseback riding. So I'm going to finish that out. And then I'm going to go to this place that deals with disabled people and horses and all this thing. And I'm pretty sure they also sell horses for people with disabilities. The world is not set up for disabled people. This is true. I understand. Okay, I've experienced this. Sure. But you can set up your world for you. Or at least that's what I tell myself every day in the mirror as part of my affirmations. I don't really, but I should. Now here's another one. I don't know if it's really a hobby. And don't correct me if it's not, but shopping. Shopping! I spend an unmentionable amount of time on Pinterest, just planning out outfits and wardrobes and decorating all of these rooms in my home that I don't have. And then I go on over to all of the places that I want to buy clothes from. One of my favorites is ThredUp, which is a thrift store online. You can filter things through. It has great stuff. You can look up for like American Eagle, Aeropostale. I don't particularly wear them or own anything in that, I think, but I do really like, is it Anthropology? Some of their dresses. I love dresses. I love dresses. I love really long dresses. And I want to say it's Free People Anthropology. They have really fun long dresses, but they're a little bit more expensive. So that online thrift store, you can find some gems. I can find some gems. I have. Now, if I ever hope to buy any of these things that I want and shop for, Pinterest, my home, any of these things, then I should have some sort of business life. I should be making money, right? I should have some sort of income so that I can buy the other things, right? Now you might go, okay, this is about hobbies, not work. But wait, because I think I have experienced wanting to work and learn about business and marketing and as a hobby. Oh yeah. See, here's the thing. When you grow up chronically ill and undiagnosed and with something a little rare that nobody knows what it is, I have experienced being told that it's all in my head, I'm crazy, I'm anxious, and that's why I'm basically ending up in the ER on a regular basis because of my mind-body connection, and I'm just not doing it right? So I dedicated many years to my mind, to the mind-body connection, to psychology. And to be honest, it was very interesting. And I might have gotten a little hyperfixated on it at some points. But a lot of business and marketing things, it's about appealing to a person. It's about knowing people. It's about getting inside your customer's head and finding a target audience and going after them. And let me tell you, that sounds like a fun day for me. Just sitting on my computer on Google, just looking for all of these things, trying to figure it all out. Trying to put things together and decide what kind of person likes blue more. Does my target audience like Instagram or TikTok? Do they want to pet fluffy animals? Do they wear hats? Are they into makeup? Like, that sounds kind of fun. That sounds like a fun day. That sounds like fun. And to be honest, it's thinking outside of the box. You know, it's learning something that people in my life and circle don't necessarily know about. Not that I know. Maybe they do and they've been hiding it from me. That's also possible. Either way, it's fun living your life in a different way. You know, like the 9 to 5 grind, I feel like is there. You don't have to explain a lot there. Like it's just part of life. But figuring out how to do businessy things and like that's fun. That's a whole nother story. One that I could write a book about, do a painting about, or a YouTube video about. I'm just saying, life is full of opportunities to have a lot of fun and hobbies. And you know what? Most of these hobbies that I've done and talked about, the Duolingo, the knitting, and of course the video games, you can do them all from a hospital bed, or your bed, or when you're in the waiting room, or when you just need some time to yourself. And I think that's pretty cool. So in conclusion, I would like to say that Hobbies are 5 stars for me. 10 out of 10 would recommend everyone do one. I have had a whole bunch of hobbies, and let's be honest, I'm going to have a whole lot more. And I'm going to figure out how to do things, even things like horseback riding, when I have hypermobility and a body that doesn't want to work half the time. Okay, most of the time it doesn't want to work. It's fine, I'm working on it with my physical therapist. Anyways, no matter what, I can probably find some way to do my hobby in a way that's comfortable and happy and beneficial for me. And I love that. And so I will never give up on having hobbies and being chronically fun, even if I'm the only one who thinks that I'm fun. Tell me some of your favorite hobbies, because let's be honest, I'm always looking for a new one. Go to my absolutely favorite website that has clothes for cheap. So after I apply my discount code, let's hit place order and let's see what I get. Businessy stuff, one of my favorites. And welcome to the back end of my website. I have this cute little affirmation blanket that I made and am selling, but it's not showing up on my website, and I don't like all of the pictures that I have. So let's go ahead and fix that by looking for why it's not showing up on the website. Yeah, okay, it's not on there. So we're going to select them all. We're going to save that, and then okay, let's get rid of some of these pictures because I'm not loving all of the mock-ups. I just think they look a little silly, and it doesn't match with the whole vibe and aesthetic of the rest of the website and the way that the products are shown. It comes in 3 different sizes, so that's why there's so many pictures here. Anyways, let's go ahead and save it and see if it is actually on the website properly. There it is. All right, now let's click it. Okay. Cool. Well, that looks like a job well done. High fives all around to us. We have done something businessy today. So, can you watch me rehearse later?
Rehearse? I didn't know you knew what that was.
Ha ha.
Sure, before or after dinner?
I can't rehearse on a full stomach. Before. And you can take me out to dinner afterwards, though, if you want.
Love to.
He ended our cute little banter.
I'll see you later.
Wait, no, he's walking away. Is he gonna kiss me before he leaves? Are you going to kiss me goodbye? I trailed after him. He smiled and kissed me on the cheek. Lame. I danced hard through my piece. I had to prove myself more than ever. Everyone else was fighting for me, and it was my time for me to start fighting too.
That was amazing.
He ecstatically yelled from the front row. He jumped on stage.
Every time you dance, you amaze me. You're incredible.
He swept me up and spun me around. I like this. Maybe earlier was just in my head. Well, thank you. I took the opportunity to kiss him for real. You finally let me kiss you. I smiled. He sat me down and put some distance between us, instinctively grabbing his lips. It's like my kisses are repellent. Why?
So, where do you want to go for dinner?
I can't believe you just asked me that. I can't believe this is happening.
You're right. I'm silly. Sabatino's, right?
I'm not going to wait anymore to have this conversation. He's scaring me, so I'm going to return this favor and utter the scariest words ever. We need to talk. Good. He looks scared.
About what?
Why don't you want to kiss me?
I do want to kiss you.
But he avoids it whenever possible? You don't act like you do. He smiled big.
I just kissed you.
I kissed you.
Skylar, really?
I am not being unreasonable. Why don't you kiss me more? He stopped talking and turned around. You just what? I asked his back.
I just think we should take it slow.
Slow? Why? Are you ashamed of me or something?
No, of course not, because you just got out of a relationship and
Is this about Garrett? You've got to be kidding me.
you need time to realize what you really want. And you've been making so many big changes, which I'm so proud of you for, but this isn't something we should just jump into.
No, that can't be right. We're not rushing into anything. We've been friends for forever, and I thought you really liked me. Maybe I need to ask a bigger question. Wes, do you want to date me?
Yes, we have been friends for a long time. Yes, I do want to date you.
Well, there's something you're not saying. Why don't you just say it?
Sky, I'm just serious about dating. This isn't just a game for me.
This is so frustrating, and all I want to do is play games, right?
No, that's not what I meant.
Do you think that I was just playing with Garrett?
Garrett? What about all the other guys you dated?
Okay, he kind of does have a point there, but I'm not a cheat. I know you think I jump from guy to guy because I did, but Garrett and I were broken up, so I was allowed to date other guys.
Just because you're allowed to date other guys doesn't mean you should. Sometimes you need to be single for a while to find and appreciate things about yourself.
My goodness, he sounds like such a quack. You sound like a quack. I'm so mad right now. Just tell me how you feel. Okay. So do you want me to be single or do you want to date me? He's so ridiculous. Huh? What do you want from me? He couldn't say anything to that because he has no idea what he wants. I left him on the stage. I grabbed my bag off the seat from the front row, and I'm done with this conversation. Actually, no. I have one more thing to say to Mr. Know-It-All. I whipped back around. Some people just aren't built to be alone.
I don't want you to be alone. I just want you to be with the right person.
And you're not the right person?
I don't understand what's happening here.
You realize I put up with Garrett for years.
That is not helping your case. Yeah, I know.
And he wasn't the nicest to me.
That's an understatement.
So I think dating you is a real improvement for me.
Thanks. That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. She walked back to the stage and stared up at me.
Let's be honest with ourselves here. We both know that you've liked me for a long time.
Okay, this is true.
And you've stuck by me as a friend through a lot of dumb decisions and some not so proud moments that I've had.
Nodding my head, I interrupted her knowing she was going with this. So it's not like I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
Thanks.
That was super sarcastic. Oh, she's really mad I said that.
I was going to say that now that I'm getting myself together, you should like me a whole lot more. So why do I feel like the opposite is happening? Isn't this
She violently gestured between her and I.
what you always wanted?
There isn't a straight answer to that question. This is awful. I'm going to lose her because of a fight of how I'm afraid to lose her. I just need to stop all this foolishness. Look, I'm sorry. You're right. I've been a little unaffectionate and I'm going to work on that.
Oh my word, are you kidding me?
Why is she so unhappy that I just apologized? That was a solid apology.
Maybe you're the one that needs to be single.
Are you breaking up with me right now?
Maybe. Ugh. Okay, I have immediate regret. No, I do not want to break up. No, I need to calm down and get changed out of these sweaty clothes. I'm going to get changed and then I'm going to come back to this conversation.